the craziness, the money I used to put away. I've got 300 of these T-shirts.
You once paid 3 million quid on burlesque vaginas, and I look round and you're in the bath.
That act did come on, and my mum's with her vicar. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? Because of what happened with Liam, I'm really, really struggling here. We do look disgusting. I think we were even worse than that.
Are you in for a treat today, my friends? I visited the man who quite literally built the modern celebrity factory, only to find himself as one of its most enduring products. Simon Cowell, man, myth, mogul, and quite honestly, mystery. For someone who's been so ubiquitous on our screens for a quarter of a century, he still remains a bit of an enigma.
I'm doing this for artists.
No, you are being...
This is real.
Since Pop Idol in 2001, he's been the arbiter of taste, the demon judge, the destroyer of dreams.
Right now, we're not understanding each other.
And more often than not, the brains behind some of the world's biggest pop stars. You might not like it, but if it wasn't for Simon, Harry Styles would never have discovered sequin dungarees and mushrooms. Imagine that.
Don't be cocky.
Can I keep on going?
No.
But how does Simon Cowell, dad to Eric, partner to Lauren, and creator of new band December 10 really feel about all of this? I'm Jamie East, and this is Simon Cowell's Tales from the Celebrity Trenches.
You will not remember this, but you are the subject to one of my greatest ever celebrity anecdotes. X Factor, Fountain Studios, literally one of the greatest places on earth at that time, in 2006, I think it was. It would have been the year that Ray Quinn was in the X Factor, and I think that was the Leona year.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
And
it would have been, yeah.
And he very kindly invited me to Fountain Studios to watch a recording. And we got hustled away to this like little secret corner and got given a really nice bottle of red wine. And then someone came and said, "Simon, we'll see you next." It was great.
Oh, God.
So I got led past, and you walked past Dermot's dressing room, you walked past Louis, and you went upstairs to your dressing room, which to this day was one of the most incredible rooms I have ever been in my life.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many candles, leather lined.
Yeah.
I walked in, you could barely see anything, and you were sat there on your laptop, and you went, James, and you're the only person apart from my mother to ever call me James, and you said, sit down. I'll always remember this. You'd just been given a MacBook, right? And you were trying to work YouTube, and you couldn't work out why YouTube wasn't working. And it was because you'd left the plastic wrapper on the keys and couldn't type. So every time you pressed a button, all the buttons would come in. And you were trying to find a cover version that Lady Gaga had done for someone to do the following week. And that's not even the most bizarre part of the anecdote. We were there chatting away, and you were interested in like the new online world and what we thought of the show and all that kind of stuff. And then Sunita walks in with like a ice bucket containing a bottle of wine, sits next to me and starts pouring me like this wine. And I turn around, you've gone, and I look round, and you're in the bath. And to this day, no one believes me when I tell them that story. You had a bath at the end of your dressing room, right, in Fountain Studios. This was 10 minutes before X Factor was going live to the nation. What an introduction.
That is bloody funny.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I don't know, I always remember, it drive everyone nuts. I had to have a bath the very, very last minute. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And they would go nuts. I could hear them. I just thought we spent so much time in that dressing room, literally, and they were so awful, those dressing rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, really bad. In fact, I got norovirus from that place. That's how bad it was. I don't know if it's still there.
Fountain's gone. It's a
Has
car,
it really
it's a
gone?
car park, or it's flats now. Yeah, it's completely gone. That was the epicenter of celebrity for about 10 years, wasn't it? It was incredible.
It was fun. It just had something about it, that place. I always remember one time I was obviously late as usual, and it was a live show. And Millwall were trying to get into the Premiership,
Right.
and they'd lost. This is Millwall. So they're in the streets. So and I'm with Tony, and I'm in my car. I've got two choices, which is we cannot get to the show, or I'll walk through 2,000 Millwall supporters that just lost. He went, Simon, don't do it. I went, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And everyone was really nuts. And there was just one guy, and I looked around and I thought, whoa, it's just going to take one punch and I am toast. To this day, I love Millwall. Really do.
Big up the Millwall. When I told people that we were doing this interview, everybody under a certain age asked me to ask you the same thing. Jennifer Hudson, the clapping.
In the tunnel, he's walking down. And the JGT right now.
Do you remember the clapping down?
I heard about this.
It's honestly, you went viral. You went absolutely crazy
Do you know
viral.
what,
Did they
Jamie-
brief you on what was going to happen?
No.
Because it was just this mad corridor of screaming people.
Yeah, they just said, this is this corridor. I said, well, what am I supposed to do? And they went, clap. And I went, okay. And I just, actually, it was so cool, I'll do it twice. So, and I must have done, I haven't seen it because I get really embarrassed seeing this stuff.
Yeah. But for the record, you can clap. We can clap,
Well, I
right?
can clap, yeah. But I was unprepared to walk and clap on that day. But I did think it was very funny, actually.
Do you get told when you go viral, or because you're not online, are you? Not chronically online like the rest of us.
No. I mean, someone will say to me, like friends or Emery, oh, this has gone viral. I'm like, why? Because you can't clap or something, which I think is really funny. Can't watch it back.
Well, you're quite shy, aren't you? You don't don't like watching yourself back anyway.
There's this point, sometimes you think, oh God, I'm like dad at the wedding, aren't I? And I could just imagine what I've done and what I look like, and it's just, oh God, no.
You say that, but like you're still meticulous in from a TV production point of view. Britain's Got Talent's coming back like imminently. As we're recording this, I think it's coming out on Saturday, isn't it?
Is it?
Maybe it also is it the week after that? Maybe it's this
Soon,
Saturday.
yeah.
You're in the edit. You are, a lot of people probably presume that the exec producer role is just a fruit basket.
Yeah.
But actually you take a lot of care in the edits. And correct me if I'm wrong, because a lot of people go, oh man, when there's a big dance troupe on, we don't get to see a lot of the dance because it's always focusing on individuals. And someone told me that it's because that actually it's the personalities of the people, not necessarily the act that they're doing, that creates the humanity. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good example, actually. In fact, there is one in the first episode, exactly to that point, where there's probably about 100 dancers. And as a whole, it looks amazing. And then, we watched it back and it's like, okay, but who is interesting within the 100? Because every one of them, when you look at them close up, I mean, they're really giving it.
Is this the one where they're pulling the coats?
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
That's brilliant, really good.
Yeah, so and it looks initially like it's all girls, but there's about 4 boys in there.
Yeah.
So it's like, we'll make sure we see one of the boys. I want to see who is the most passionate within that dance group, so that you feel that it matters, because that's what I'm looking at for on the day. I can say, okay, it's great, it's getting a little bit boring now, so I'm always curious, I'm always looking around who's the one giving it the most, and so I just think about things like that because I think it's important.
Do you feel unfairly kind of critiqued? And like I was listening to Marina and Richard talk to you about
That was funny.
on The Rest is Entertainment.
So if we argue today, it means we're getting on well.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
also
We're going
no,
to throw down here.
You never learn anything otherwise, do you?
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
Because in the next act, for instance, I think they were just like, oh, come on, you must have known. And don't take this the wrong way, because I think you still have this naivety, like slight kind of Peter Pan-y air about you when you're doing this, because I think you want to believe the good in the story.
Yeah.
So is that a fair thing to say?
100%. So if I think something's set up, then I really don't like it. I don't like things. I like things to happen. So I was laughing when we did that podcast with the two of them, because Richard was like, well, obviously you knew. I said, well, knew what? Well, it was always going to be 7. I'm like, actually, at one point we didn't think it was anyone, because it was going so bad at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, I genuinely thought, roll the dice on this. And then I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put all of them in the band.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh. I took it as a compliment, actually, weirdly, that he thought that I was smart enough to work it out in advance. It's like, no, I genuinely wasn't, And I just thought, I don't know, it just felt stronger. Now I can't imagine the band without one of them, leaving.
And you said something else in an interview about spotting stars and making sure that they have a band as a framework, almost as a stepping stone, I guess. And the Take That documentary came out a couple of weeks ago, and Nigel Martin Smith obviously did exactly the same thing with Gary Barlow. Take That was only ever perceived as the vehicle for Gary Barlow, and obviously took a myriad of twists and turns then.
Yeah.
Was that the case with you? I mean, when 1D came along, I was just trying to work out whether was Harry did you kind of think, right, okay, well, let's put everyone around Harry, or was it Zayn? Just trying to think, do you have to think like that as an A&R? With Little Mix, with 1D, with all these bands, eventually bands have a very finite kind of shelf life.
Too short, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In that particular moment with One Direction, I can really remember what happened is that they all had good auditions, and then in the middle rounds, certain people, for whatever reason, they mess up the next time. They didn't do enough to make it as solo artists. However, when I saw them all on the stage, there was like this moment, which is, you know what, we got to do something with them.
Yeah.
So what do we do? And it took about, I don't know, 25 minutes, if I'm being honest with you, which is, we've got to put him in, got to put him in, got to put him in, put him in. And that was it. It was literally as quick as that. And then I just let them do whatever they wanted. And then they came back to me a few weeks later. As I came around the corner, I saw them. I went, God, they look amazing.
Yeah.
And I've got my poker face on. I'm with Sunita as always. And they sang and they left. Because I was praying, please God, sing a tune, please God.
Please be good.
And they were good.
Yeah.
And as they went around the corner, I jumped out of my chair. I'm like, oh, they were really, really good.
Yeah. But there's good, and then there's like where Harry is now.
Yeah.
That must be like slightly out of the realm of anything. That's like there's some kind of alchemy that's happened when it becomes Leona or Harry kind of level, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could say, honestly, at the moment you meet someone because I've very rarely been in that place. Maybe Carrie Underwood, when I first auditioned her, there was something about her. I remember thinking, wow, that girl's really got it. Normally it takes a little bit longer. You got to see or meet someone 2, 3, 4 times. Leona took a few weeks before she absolutely nailed Summertime. I'll never forget that moment, because the rehearsals were a disaster. And then that night she it's still like it was yesterday. And then and that was really before YouTube. However, the phone starts ringing straight after the show goes out from America. We want to sign this girl, blah, 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 blah. And you could just feel that she had that star thing about her. Lots of people are pretty good first time. It's what they do second time, third time. I think was more important. And that was why I really enjoyed doing the documentary, because even though you didn't see much, what really was happening in that week in Miami was I just took a step back, and I was just watching the interaction between the boys themselves. I was interested watching the boys, watching the other boys, and that was really interesting, that kind of whole dynamic. Just getting to know them and liking them, actually, more than anything else.
And they're folks as well, I guess. The family dynamic's got to be right as well, hasn't it? Otherwise, that must be like slightly chaotic to manage as well if it's wrong.
Yeah. And obviously, because of what happened with Liam in the middle of all of this, it was like, wow, what do you do in a situation like that? Because it was so bad. I was in pieces, and I've got so many things going on in my head, which is why I literally just disappeared somewhere for a week to kind of think it through. And because it was like, I'm really, really struggling here.
I think the reality of what it can end up being like if you become that famous is known and understood a bit better now by the new generation. Like December 10, probably going into it, I would imagine, with their eyes a bit more open, and their parents certainly their eyes a bit more open than, say, I don't know, Gareth Gates's parents, or so. It's just completely different time where there was just no preparation for even 1D really becoming 1D. No one really imagined that. So I guess there's a bit more complicity between you and the families to make sure that they're looked after properly, right?
Now, you know, things are so crazy. It's almost like the whole world wants to be famous right now. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of stuff that's uploaded, you know, they're doing it to be well known for different reasons.
Yeah.
So that's what you want. Then my responsibility is to go, look, if it works and you're successful, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
However, of course, your life changes and there are going to be times when it's going to be really stressful, really hard, and I'll help you prep for it.
Yeah.
And I'll be there if you need me.
You've always claimed that you're driven by success. You know, that's back from the mailroom days at EMI to today. You've always said that you've been driven by success, not celebrity. But you've also said that success enables you to be a monster.
I think the quote is, talking about other people is that it can create the monster.
Yeah. Have you ever crossed the line? Was there ever a period where celebrity got the better of you?
It's more what I've seen on the what I've seen is when you go into the green room when you're doing a TV show and there's a guest and you walk into the green room, there's someone who you really kind of starstruck by, and they're just awful, just horrible people.
It's disappointing, right?
And I'm like, wow, you
Happened to me with Mel B in the X Factor.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell her that.
You need to tell her that. She didn't.
What did
sign
she do?
She wouldn't sign my kid's autograph.
What?
Mel, if you're watching, yeah.
Mel, that's out of order. Seriously out of order. You can never, ever say no to a photograph or an autograph. That's it.
You know, for that period of 2004 to 2006, you know, when X Factor was at its absolute zenith, you could have done anything. You know, you could do anything. How do you maintain a bit of humility within that when you must be just surrounded by the word yes?
Funny enough, there are still a lot of no's. Maybe not no's, but you know when you're excited about something, and you're presenting a new idea. Because for me, if I like something, I'm so quick to go yes. In reverse, you go in, you present a new TV show idea, and they just look at you. And they say nothing. And I'm like, do you like it? And they just look at you. I'd rather somebody just said, I don't like it. I'm like, okay, well, fine, I get it. You'd be surprised how difficult it still is. Because actually, weirdly, when we were making these shows, everyone said yes so quickly. I just thought that was going to be like it forever.
If you had to pick one moment that sums up your relationship with fame, if there was one moment where you're just like, oh my goodness me, this is it, what would it be? I picked one.
Go on.
Was it one? I think if this happened to me, I'd probably take a step back and go, I've hit jackpot. You once paid £2,000 to check into the London Mandarin Oriental to take a bath because your boiler was broken. If I'd have done that, I'd have been like, mate, Jamie's done good.
I might have done that. Do you know what? I pissed away so much money. In hindsight, I do think about that. I'm like, my God.
£2,000 on a bath.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a bit more cautious now.
Yeah.
I think because I didn't, I didn't have a lot of money to start with.
Yeah.
So when I was starting to make a lot of money, I'm like, wow, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, God, what did I spend all that money? You know, all those lists, that you're worth this. It's like, I'm not worth anywhere near that.
People assume that you are a billionaire.
I swear, not even close. Not even close. No, I've done all right, but I'm not.
That's how you've done all right. The underfloor heating's been on all day.
Yeah.
I'd have got a bollock at my house if I'd have done that.
I've done fine. However, I still worry about money, actually, which is because I know what it feels like when you got absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the worst feeling in the world. It's just not the best feeling in the world.
Well, money brings you opportunity, doesn't it?
To a point. You don't have to worry about things so much. However, I still worry, weirdly.
Does that mean you're not going to spend another £3 million on a birthday party featuring burlesque vaginas?
Absolutely Correct.
Those days are over.
I didn't, by the way, I didn't know it was going to cost that much. I really didn't. When I got the bill, I think I'm still paying for it now. I honestly, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? I didn't agree to that.
People still talk about that birthday party as like, you know, I think that Elton John's Oscar party, Simon Cowell's 50th are still the kind of like two old school celebrity bashes that everyone wishes they were at.
Yeah, I wish I could remember it. I can't. I honestly, I can't. I remember taking, I think, half a Xanax before that because I was so anxious.
Of the small talk. You don't like, I hate small talk.
Also, relatives who I've got no idea who they are. You know, cousins. Like, cousins are the worst because cousins, I don't even know what a cousin is. But they're somehow connected to you. And I knew they were going to be there.
Spend like, 3 million quid on burlesque vaginas. The cousins are there. They're right at the front of the queue.
So I'm like, okay, that's going to take the edge off. And I honestly, Jamie, I really can't remember much other than that, where that act did come on and my mum's sitting next to me with her vicar. And she's like, what's that? And I'm like, I think it's a mouth. Yeah. Like the wrong way round. And I'm like, who ordered that? I didn't agree to that.
I mean, this is Tales from the Celebrity Trenches, and we always like to ask all of our guests this one question. Have these words ever crossed your lips? Do you know who I am? So it's like, there's, I can't imagine that you are one of the most recognisable men in the world. I can't imagine you have you ever had to utter, excuse me, sir.
I did once.
Do you not know who I am?
For a reason. I'll tell you. Okay, I know. I can't tell you the story because it was pretty bad. Actually, there was an emergency, and I had to get hold of somebody, literally, in America in the middle of the night, and there was a lot of things to get through to find someone. So I actually, for the very first time, I said, "Okay, look, you may not know me. My name is blah 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 blah. This is what I do. I'm on a show called this." Yeah. Oh yes, I know you. Fine. So can you put me through to that person? And I did use it then. That's the only time.
But you know what? You're the first person that's admitted to actually using it. So fair play.
I genuinely that
fair
time
play.
I had to, because it was getting nowhere.
Yeah.
Like they just kept putting the phone down. So I'm like, okay. Well, then I've got to go to plan B. Yeah. And thank God it worked.
Got to play the SC card. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, no.
How long do you think we'll have to wait before X Factor comes back? You know, it's like Star Wars. There will always be another Star Wars film. X Factor has to return at some point.
Yeah, I think we talk about it a lot. Is that, do you bring it back as X Factor or do you bring it back as the Z Factor?
Yeah.
There's still no question the power of TV in terms of getting people to know an artist. It is so important if you're not writing your own material.
And that's an interesting point because we live in an age now where people can make millions off TikTok. People can have, you know, Mr. Beast has, you know, however many millions of followers. KSI, who we'll come on to in a minute, you know, made his fame and his fortune on YouTube.
Yeah.
But they all cannot resist the draw of linear TV.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why does Mr. Beast bother doing an Amazon Prime series?
Well, I asked him that, funny enough. We spoke and I said, that's exactly that. Why? And he said, because I'm reaching a different audience. I also think the truth is there's something about being on a big screen. You hear about these artists who break online, but so rarely. So, you know, we could have made that documentary, I guess, online. I just don't think it would have had the same effect. Truth is, I guess, thank God, people like being on TV.
Yeah.
That's it.
Did you watch The Traitors?
I did.
What did you think?
I felt sick.
What, that you hadn't thought of it?
Yeah, it was so good. I mean, I wanted to hate it, and I'm like, oh my God, it's brilliant. It's so well made, and it's such an easy premise. However, they shot it so well. And just, I mean, you talk about people. Yeah. This is what people are really like. They're really greedy. They're awful. They'll betray you. Not for a huge amount of money, by the way.
Yes, I think they're very clever in the edit there, where Claudia has to get away. We've just added £3,000 to the pot, and they have to find some cutaways of them going, ooh, because none of them are bothered about £3,000 in the pot.
Yeah.
They just want to win the Traitors.
You're
right?
so right. You're so right.
Would you be, if you were on Celebrity Traitors, would you want to be a traitor or a faithful?
Oh, definitely a traitor.
100%.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it because I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of that show. I just, thank God, still believe and can see how influential and important it is to be on TV, regardless of where you watch it. And I can say that just with the boys recently, you know, how many people know about these boys individually in 2 months compared to what it would take a traditional artist. It would take 7-8 years to get
the whole
those numbers.
campaign,
Yeah.
BGT is still there, still doing the numbers, still drawing people in.
I think, you know, for the reasons we made the show, actually, which was, it was just at the time when YouTube was becoming popular. So everyone was watching all this crazy stuff. And I was thinking, wow, if we can make a show where we can put all of this crazy stuff on and there's literally no rules, it could be a box, it could be an animal. And that's what I like about it, because when we're making the show, sometimes, you know, the curtain will go up and there will be a box, and I'm like, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
Who's going to come out the box, or what's he going to do?
Yeah.
And it's just funny. And I think that's why it survived, actually, because, you know, there was a point with X Factor in that final year. I'm going to spend the next 10 weeks pretending that I like these people.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Do you know where I think X Factor went wrong? There was a moment.
Go on.
6-chair challenge.
Yeah, actually, I think you're right.
Was one of the moments where public mood started to shift against that type of thing.
Yeah.
And in celebrity journalism as well, there were things that were happening, like Britney had a meltdown, Amy Winehouse, you know, died. There was lots of things that happened that I think changed the public perception of how that. And I think the 6-chair challenge was slightly. I mean, it was great telly. Don't get me wrong, but it felt a little bit
mean.
It
felt to me that the show had turned into like Frankenstein. It was like you added on a bit there, and I'm like, but that wasn't what we'd intended it to be. The intention was that we would mentor good people and make them better and sign them to a label deal.
Yeah.
I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
So to your point, you're right. I mean, I never would have sat there at the beginning and gone, oh yeah, and we have this moment where they sit on chairs and we take them off the chair. However, the first day we filmed it, I've never felt anything like it in my life. It was like,
in terms of the atmosphere,
it's a bloody Colosseum. I mean, the crowd went mental.
Yeah.
So I obviously thought,
there's an element of supply and demand, though, right?
yeah, I thought, well, everyone's excited. So maybe they like it. The problem was you couldn't make a proper decision in that environment. It was literally impossible. You couldn't hear what they were singing.
Yeah.
There was so much pressure. You put them in the chair, off the chair, whatever you did, the crowd were really, really going crazy.
Yeah.
So at the end, I just thought, this doesn't have a purpose anymore.
One thing I don't think you get enough credit for, you know, everyone talks about the Svengali, the music, the 1D, the this, that, and the other, is your selection of judges and kind of like co-judges. And I think I would just love to dig into that a little bit, because when Amanda Holden got picked to be a judge on Britain's Got Talent, everybody was just like, what the fuck is Les Dennis's ex-wife doing on primetime telly?
Well,
but now, you know, she's now Heart Breakfast.
Yeah.
She's a bona fide A-list kind of broadcaster.
She's like Barbara Windsor.
What did you see in Amanda at the time then? Because you've done it again. You know, there've been lots of like curveball selections in your judging panel over the years.
Well, initially Cheryl Cole was going to do it,
right?
And at the last minute, she called me and said, I just can't do it. And I said, why? She said, I don't think I'm qualified to judge people. I said, well, I actually disagree. I think I've met you. I think you're very smart. I think a big mistake. I'm not doing it. I said, fine. I think I said, you're going to be on X Factor. I would never do that. I said, well, we'll wait and see. Anyway, so what happened was, called ITV, got a big problem, and they said, okay, leave it with us. And they called me back and they said, we've got 2 people who definitely can do it. And I've met Amanda in LA, and she was just so funny. I just thought, well, you've got to sit next to someone you like. And she did make me laugh. I mean, she's really funny, Amanda. And Piers, of course. I knew he was going to be great.
You're to blame for Piers.
Yeah.
It's all your fault.
Because I mean, I had to get him on the American show, and no one had a clue who he was. I really had to fight that battle. I said, honestly, he's going to be great.
And Sharon, I think, was one of the most inspired ones as well. The holy trinity of Cowell, Osborne, and Walsh. That's the best triple threat I think a judging panel's ever seen. I think.
When I was told that we could get Sharon, I'm like, seriously? She'll attract a different kind of artist because obviously she's Sharon Osbourne. Louis a pop manager, blah blah blah. So, and I knew him, and he's again really funny.
Yeah,
I mean, one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah,
you've got to have people who you can argue with in a good way.
And KSI is now full-time judge on BGT.
Yeah.
When he started off on YouTube, I refused to let my boys watch him because he was quite near the knuckle. And he has done a few mea culpas and kind of admitted, all of that stuff. But again, the pinnacle of success is to become a mainstream television star. And what do you see in him? Is it about bringing a new audience into BGT? Is it about, like some of my sons will go, holy shit, KSI's on.
Yeah.
It
was exactly that. Same thing. I was told he was interested. I went, really? They went, yeah. I said, okay. So we spoke. I really liked him. And then the very first day I watched him, and he was like a kid. He just couldn't believe what he was watching. And I liked watching everything through his eyes. Differently.
Yeah.
Because he just couldn't believe what was going on, the chaos. And I just said, you've got to embrace it.
Yeah.
And he had the best time. And I liked the way he judged the acts because no one's an expert, by the way. I'm not like a dog act expert. I know nothing about this other than...
You just love dogs.
Yeah, I love dogs. Do I like it? Yes. Do I find it boring? Maybe. Just say what you like. And that's why I said to him, just say what you want. And he did. We do say, Jemmy, I mean, it is a really fun job, this, actually, when it's going well. If you're getting paid to watch all this crazy stuff and then you get these amazing stories still, I mean, it's a good job, yeah.
Are you a bit nuts? How eccentric are you? Talk to me about crystals. Do you recharge crystals in front of the moon?
I do have this... They're not here, they're in America. I am obsessed with this one crystal, which is called labradorite. I think it's the most beautiful thing on earth because it's real and it's got like turquoise, gold little veins.
And do you like it just from an aesthetic point of view, or is there some spiritual thing that it does?
Both. I can feel the energy. So like, on that show, it really did happen where I was so overwhelmed with the stress of how the hell am I going to do this in such a short period of time and film everything at the same time. So Anne-Marie actually found me a wholesaler because I told her how much I was paying for these crystals. She went, can't believe that.
I can get you a deal.
I can get you a deal. I said, who? So this guy turns up with hundreds of them. So I'm so happy. But at the same time, for me, I could see the ones I liked and the ones I didn't like. And at the same time, I was doing the same thing with the selection of these boys. So I was, at one point, I wasn't doing it on purpose, but when I watched it back, I thought people are going to think I'm a little bit nuts. But I thought it was kind of comforting, having the crystals rather than everyone in my ear driving me crazy. what happened was we were running out of money on the budget. So they said to me on the day, you got to make the decision today. And so I did have a little mini meltdown, and then I just sat with my crystals and they just comforted me.
Do you know what that is?
What?
That's handing something over to a higher power. Just getting spiritual for a second.
Okay, well, it could be.
Are you a spiritual guy?
Yeah, I am actually, yeah. I do believe in God. And I definitely believe in the powers of the universe. Because when you really think about it, it's so crazy, the universe, just the scale.
Yeah.
And everything we don't understand, because we all think we know everything, and actually we know nothing. I mean, because everything is so vast and interesting and just amazing. So I feel that if you can harness the power of the universe to try and make your mind just calm down for a moment.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe God is.
Yeah.
You know, God, the universe.
A meditative state.
Yes, the same kind of thing. And I think about that a lot. You know, I pray always for peace. It's always peace. Give me peace. Give me peace for once.
Oh, I thought you were on world peace. He just wants peace.
No,
just peace and quiet.
Peace. Oh, I do actually. I want the whole world to be at peace. I mean, that's what I pray for.
I want to talk to you about being a dad.
Yes.
I think there's two Simon Cowells. There's BE and AE, before Eric and after Eric. Is that a fair assumption?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, even some of that stuff we were talking about, the craziness, you know, the money I used to piss away.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I mean, I'm not tight, but I'm careful.
Yeah.
Right. However, like, you know, I was saying about shows having a purpose. I genuinely believe that when you become a dad, a mum, it gives you a purpose. Everything changes.
Yeah.
Like your whole body.
The chemistry.
Chemistry, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Everything just changes. It was like the second half of my life. And I mean, I loved the first half. However,
no one had more fun than Simon Cowell in the noughties, let's be frank.
Yeah, I mean, I have had a great time. And I have really loved being a dad.
Yeah.
And what's been amazing is how you can relive your childhood.
Presumably he's not as naughty as you were, because you were a nightmare.
Well, thank God, no, he's not. I mean,
Did you hold up a bus with a pea shooter?
Yes.
What happened then?
Well,
was
we
like-
had pea guns. So we got on a bus and I put my pea gun, the bus driver just said, take me to Watford.
Take me to Watford.
As a joke. And he did take us to Watford. And I remember thinking, wow, this bus driver's really fast. And when we got off the bus, the police were waiting for us and they arrested us.
Wow.
And they literally threw us in jail. And this guy comes after an hour and goes, right, boys, where'd you get the guns from? And I went, they're not real guns.
Oh, no.
And he, what are you talking about? I said, well, pea guns. And they actually thought we had real guns. And that's why they threw us in jail. I was always, Jamie, always in trouble. I just couldn't help myself. So I was nervous, obviously, thinking, oh, God, I hope he doesn't turn up like me. He's got a cheeky side, but actually he's a good boy.
Yeah.
And I hope that he does something like me, so I can support him and guide him. But whatever he wants to do, I'd support him.
Going back to kind of like everyone, you know, you've gone through phases in your wardrobe. Is it a planned thing? How do you just get attached to kind of, or is it one of those CEO things where it's just like knowing that I'm going to wear the same thing every day means that it's one less decision I have to make?
It's kind of that. I mean, if I find something I like, I'm just obsessed.
Yeah. I'm
like, fine, I've just got to get 10, 20 versions of that because they're going to run out. And then, so this, I'm not kidding, 300 of these T-shirts. Because when you find a T-shirt you like,
oh, tell me about it.
The chances are they're not going to make it again.
Yeah, I
right?
agree with that.
So I'm like, well, can you make me 50, 100? I get a good deal.
Nice.
It's a job lot. And I don't have to think about it. I'm just happy knowing they're not going to run out.
Yeah. So going back to kind of like electric moments in time that you've been involved in, and one of them is Susan Boyle.
Yeah.
And her audition, though, in particular, is wild to look back at now. Isn't it?
All right, what's your name, darling?
My name is Susan Boyle.
No one in that audition really bathes themselves in a nice light, do they?
No.
And that wouldn't happen nowadays, do you think?
Well, again, obviously, when I saw it,
Yeah.
You watch it back and you're like, God, you look so awful.
Yeah.
Just horrible. But actually, I remember saying, I don't think we look bad enough. I think we were even worse than that.
Oh, the edit was kind.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I said, we're going to just tell it as it is. And they went, you look awful. I said, we are awful. All of us. I mean, that look Piers gives me, it's just, I think of all the looks I've ever remembered, that might be the worst.
Yeah.
That just horrible look, and I was just as bad.
Yeah. Well, we all were.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by.
And then, thank God for her, it all worked out well. And of course, I had the ability to cut all that stuff out. But it was a bit of a wake-up call, which is, wow, you can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
We do look disgusting, but you got to hold your hands up at that moment. A lot of people are going to realize in about 24 hours that we're just horrible. And so we're going to say sorry.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
I mean, to be fair to Susan, held her own. She was, she was a feisty one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you heard Susan was coming to get you, it was like, okay, all right.
I feel like
Susan?
I feel like we're on the precipice of a Susan revival, though. Did you see Timothy Chalamet's video? Do you know Timothy Chalamet, the actor? He was asked by Colin Patterson on the BBC, and I love Colin to bits. So, Colin, this is not a slight on you. I'm just going to play it because it's really, really interesting.
What Brits would be worthy of a Marty Supreme
what a
jacket?
great question, man.
What Brits? So he asks, what Brits would be worthy of a Marty Supreme jacket? Because there was a big thing about he was wearing these amazing jackets, and he starts off with Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton, Victoria and David. Who else, man? Fake Mink. Suzanne Boyle.
Why?
She dreamt big. She dreamt bigger than all of us. Who wasn't moved by that? I remember that like it was yesterday. That was like the advent of YouTube,
Now I found
That's
that
cool.
I found that really, really interesting.
That's
that
very
still
emotional.
that the immediate reaction from Colin was to scoff and laugh, but
Yeah.
Timothy kind of looked at that and it was just like, wait, she dreamed bigger than all of us.
That's
and
true.
I thought that was quite a beautiful moment. Actually, it actually,
Yeah,
you
it's very touching.
yeah,
She was, you know what? I think she was so important for so many reasons, Jamie, I think we all looked at ourselves at that point and went, oh God, we're all terrible, which is fine.
yeah,
And then, I do remember actually, because she didn't win, obviously, so I ran up to the stage,
yeah,
said to her, Susan, I'm signing you. Just
Yeah.
so you know, it doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter because I knew she was going to be upset.
yeah.
And I meant it. And so I said, right, we're signing her. And so what are we going to do? So my head of the label, he gives me the track listing for the album. It's horrible. It's like Send in the Clowns, maybe one time. I mean, just
Bit too
horrible.
virulent.
So obvious. And I went, no, we're not going to do that. She's got to do something no one's going to expect her to do. So I sent an email out to everyone at the company and I said, right, who has got the best idea for Susan Boyle? And one of our interns sent me this version of Wild Horses.
Right.
I went, my God, that is stunning. That's it. That's what we're looking for. And I'll never forget when we recorded the song with her and I heard it back and I thought, wow, this is going to be big.
How's she doing now? I think she seems to be. Well, she's in a good
she's
place,
rich,
right?
She's happy.
She's rich. She's happy.
And she doesn't want to live in a big house. That was the weird thing.
You and Susan were also inadvertently responsible for one of the greatest hashtags of all time. In the early days of Twitter,
Yeah.
Everyone was jumping on board hashtags, right? To kind of generate some buzz. And Susan's debut at Long Player was coming out. So someone set up the hashtag on Twitter, hashtag Susan Album Party, which is absolutely fine, right? Hashtag Susan Album Party. Everyone's like, great, this will get signed off. Everyone on Twitter was like, why are we celebrating Sue's anal bum party?
What?
And you probably were very well protected from this. There was a period of like about a week on Twitter where everyone was just like, Sue's anal bum party is kicking off. And I think probably the two people. Twitter was a great place back in the noughties. That was before Elon got hold of it. But the two people that probably never found out about that was Simon Cowell and Susan Boyle. Otherwise, heads would have certainly rolled.
Just found out about it now. My God. God.
Oh dear. I'm gonna get you to do a little game. I'm gonna get you to rank a couple of things. You don't know who's coming next, but you've got to say out of 1 to 10, the top 10 Simon Cowell contestants. So I'm gonna say a name, and you've got to tell me if they're 1 the best or 10th best.
But they're all good.
They're all good.
Okay.
Depends.
Okay.
Diversity.
Oh, okay. So we're judging both kinds.
Yeah, so all across
Okay,
across
well,
singing.
I would say,
variety.
gosh, I'm going to go 5.
5, okay. Wagner. Love Shack.
Depends, actually. I mean, look, not the best singer. However, one of the funniest, honestly, ever performances. So, but I'm going to have to put a number 10.
Oh, wow. You don't know what's coming, though.
Oh.
Okay, fine. 1D.
Oh, well, I'm going to say... I'm going to get in so much trouble for this. Number 1.
Number 1, okay.
Yeah.
Leon Jackson.
12.
12, okay. Susan Boyle.
3.
3. Leona.
2. But 2-1.
2-1.
2-1.
Well, you might regret
Yeah.
that, because coming up next is Ashley and Pudsey. You love a
6.
dog. 6? Okay,
Yeah.
fine. We'll do that. Okay. And next up, the top 10 judges. Pete Waterman.
Actually, because he helped me so much. 1.
1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Randy Jackson.
Actually, Randy, 2.
2, okay.
Yeah.
It's just bad news for Cheryl. Cheryl.
3.
3. Okay. Piers.
10.
10. Get down the bottom, Piers. Louis.
4.
Okay. Sharon.
5.
5. Paula Abdul.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry. Paula. Who did I say is number 1?
You said that. Oh my goodness me! I think you said
Pete
that,
number 1.
Pete
Who did I
was
say number 2?
Randy.
Okay. No. Pete, Paula, Randy, Louis,
Okay.
Sharon.
Sharon.
Yeah.
Fine. And then that leaves us Mel B. I think maybe about 8.
About 8.
Yeah. So that's going to hurt Mel B.
She's not 10.
She's not 10. Mel B, be thankful you're not Piers Morgan. That's all we can take away.
No, they're all good, right? Because they're in the top 10.
They're all good. They're
Yeah?
all good. They're all good. Simon, thank you so much
Oh, that
for
was
coming
brilliant,
on.
Jamie. That was
really,
so
really
much
good to
fun,
have you.
honestly.
And may your celebrity light shine forever.
Thank you. And I will keep praying for peace with God and the universe,
And the
my
crystals.
and everything else.